Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're taking a closer look at the battery life of the brand new Apple Watch SE 3. And we're testing both sizes, the 40mm and the 44mm GPS version. I've been wearing both models over the past days under the exact same conditions. And I will tell you which one actually lasts longer. At the very end, we will also do a quick comparison with the Apple Watch Series 11 results, so stick around and let's get into it. By the way, you will also find a link to the smartwatches down below in the description. Before we jump into the numbers, let me quickly explain my test conditions because they are super important to understand the results. Both Apple Watch SE 3 models started at exactly 100% battery at 12:20 a.m. Always on display mode was enabled, all health trackers like heart rate, SpO2 and sleep tracking were running the entire time. I received about 30 to 40 notifications across the test period. Brightness was set to medium for the first 24 hours and then to maximum after that. I also did one 35-minute GPS workout, and aside from that I used the watches in a pretty average way. Nothing extreme, just normal everyday use. So let's start with the larger 44mm version. After the first night with 5 hours and 20 minutes of sleep tracking, the battery was down to 90%, so that's a 10% drain overnight. After a total of 13 hours, the watch was at 72%. At the 24-hour mark, including the 35-minute GPS workout, the battery was still at 47%. Then came the second night with about 7 hours and 20 minutes of sleep tracking, and after that it was down to 35%. At the 36-hour mark, so 1.5 days in, the battery was sitting at 17%, and finally the watch completely died at 5:20 p.m. the next day. That has given us a total battery life of exactly 41 hours. For an Apple Watch SE model, that's really impressive, way better than Apple's official claim of 18 hours. Now let's move on to the smaller 40mm version. It also started at 100% at 12:20 a.m. After the first night, it was at 89%, just a touch more drained than the bigger model. After 13 hours, it was down to 70%. After 24 hours in the workout, there was only 35% left. Then came the second night with another 7 hours and 20 minutes of sleep tracking, and afterwards it showed 26%. At the 36-hour mark, the battery was still at 9%, and the watch finally died at 2:10 p.m. the next day. That gives the smaller model a total runtime of 37 hours and 50 minutes. Still way beyond Apple's promise, but about 3 hours shorter than the larger version. Of course, the difference in endurance comes down to the smaller battery inside of the 40mm case. Apple doesn't publish the exact milliampere numbers, but in daily use the pattern is pretty clear. Bigger case, bigger battery, more runtime. Charging speed on both is identical. Apple claims about 45 minutes for a charge from 0 to 80%. In my test that matched perfectly. With just 15 minutes of charging, the watch already lasted half a day. That's super handy if you just need a quick top up for work or before bed. Now, why is that so important? Battery life isn't the only reason to choose a smartwatch, but it makes a huge difference in daily life. If you want to wear your Apple Watch 24/7, including at night for sleep tracking, you need to know if it can last. In my testing, the larger SE 3 gave me just over 41 hours, which means you don't necessarily have to charge it every single day if you plan it right. With a smaller SE 3, you're looking at about 38 hours, which usually means you will have to charge it after 1.5 days. And just to give you a little bit of context, I also recently tested the Apple Watch Series 11. There, the 46mm version lasted about 40 hours and 15 minutes, while the smaller 42mm version managed 36 hours and 15 minutes. So interestingly, the SE 3 in 44mm actually outperformed even the Series 11 in my testing. And the 40mm SE 3 was very close as well. Apple really improved the efficiency right here, and for a more affordable model, that's quite an achievement. So to quickly wrap things up, the Apple Watch SE 3 in 44mm lasted 41 hours in my test, while the smaller 40mm came in at 37 hours and 15 minutes. Both numbers are far better than Apple's official claim of 18 hours, and in practice that means you get a much more relaxed experience when it comes to charging. The 44mm does last a few hours longer, but even the 40mm goes well beyond one full day of usage. And that's already it for today's battery test, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I guess I will see you in the next one. Peace!